What is going on, YouTube? Today we are reacting to Game of the Year 2025 is going to be a ridiculous fight. And I could not agree anymore with what this is saying, man. There's a bunch of bangers on the list, and I do hope you do enjoy this video, so let's get right into it.
I don't think I'm going out
kind of like that intro.
by saying that 2025 has been a pretty good year for games.
Oh, that intro is bang like burner.
GTA 6 delay. It stings. Not gonna pretend it doesn't. But
yeah,
even
what's up with that? Why is there another delay, man?
With a ton of interesting and different, diverse games.
What game is this?
Happier GTA is a 2026 game. Gives all this other great.
The base thing with the GTA 6 getting delayed is that I have more time for Crimson Desert. That game looks phenomenal.
Stuff room to breathe, as well as some room to battle it out in what's
Donkey
probably
Kong.
the most stacked and crowded Game of the Year contests in recent memory. What makes
Good old
this
Expedition
year's Game of the
33
Year discussion so interesting?
Not Mario,
is
fuck that one.
No big,
Silksong, maybe.
obvious front runner. There's no GTA 5 or Elden Ring to take the air out
Wait,
of it.
what? There is definitely one forefront at the thing. That's Expedition 33.
Obviously, everyone's going to have their own personal favorites, but even among us here in the Game Ranks crew, there's varying opinions on what could and should win, but even more so, just an evaluation of what probably will win. Often there's a game where we're all like, well, that's going to win, even if we wanted to or not. We're not at that point. And yeah, I get it. It seems like it might be a little early to start this discussion, but keep in mind, ballots for Game of the Year at the Game Awards.
Am I the only one thinking like this guy is wrong here? Like, is it not Expedition 33 that's like at the forefront that's gonna carry?
Early November, and the actual show airs between December 6th and 12th.
December 6th, okay.
In 2025, the show's airing December 11th. And
11th, all right.
So early games that come out in November, December just aren't eligible to win. Now, obviously, the Game Awards aren't the definitive Game of the Year. I mean, for the most part, it's considered the big one. But every website does their own awards, and everybody has their own personal top picks. A lot of the time,
I mean, realistically, you're just using this as a recommendation tool to see if you're, oh, let me see if I can find something that might actually be good, and then you're like, oh, look at all these different game reviews, and you're like, maybe I'll check them out.
A certain side or watch a certain person because you agree with them, and then what they put as Game of the Award matters more than the Game Awards to you. But collectively speaking, like the Oscars at the end, the Game
they had to show that
are
one.
A lightning rod of discussion. It's the biggest award show in gaming, and no matter how much you or I
I remember this from last year.
They're the big boys. So, hi folks, it's Falcon, and today
what up, bird buddy?
We're gonna run down the frankly ridiculous slate of games in the running for Game of the Year 2025.
Was that Doom? I didn't play it
necessarily here. I think this one's
Wild
for a more discussion format, because some games are going to want to talk more about, some games we're going to want to talk less about.
Hades 2. Wait, why was that there? I
just got to say, if you like what we do, we would really appreciate it.
I don't know that one. Oh, that's Stellar Blade.
But without any further ado, let's talk about how Game of the Year 2025 is going to be ridiculous. So, it's obviously fun to speculate and talk about Game of the Year, who's going to win, what...
No, I actually haven't played Death Stranding 2. I heard Death Stranding 1 was kind of bad. It was mostly a walking simulator, and I'm surprised they went the route of making another one for it. And I honestly, I might have to play it if it's actually good.
To the hype, what didn't, what deserves recognition, what isn't gonna get it. But of course,
I hope they don't put remakes on there.
Play the game and you enjoy the game. That's what really matters. This is just fun to speculate about, especially if you're terminally industry brained like we all are here. So before we get into what games we do think will make up the primary nominees for the Game Awards,
I don't think
let's
so.
Run down how much of an insane year it's been. So what's so interesting about 2025? It's a pretty solid.
This is a puzzle game, right? This one
more standard, expected, highly anticipated, hyped, or even overhyped big games.
I think it's hard to say for Wilds.
Out of nowhere surprise slam dunks.
This was a good game.
Starting with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 in February.
Split Fiction
kind of caught us all by surprise because while the first game is kind of a flawed gem, the sequel is absolutely excellent. It's got an engaging story, unique, challenging gameplay.
Okay, I might have to check this one out.
Explore, and it was impressively stable.
When it's on sale, of course.
Buggy mess the original was. Kingdom Come was an immediate Game of the Year contender. It really is a huge step up from the first.
Yeah, that's so true. Everybody was playing it when it first came out, like all the big streamers. Not that big streamers have good opinions, because a lot of them actually don't. I swear. There's a clip going around with Shroud saying, can we not get that Expedition game or whatever to win Game of the Year? And he wants Arc Raiders. Like, come on, man. And then on top of that, there's a clip saying he never played our Expedition 33.
and it deserves all the accolades it got. Later the same month, though, we got another game that everybody pre-release was kind of like, oh, this is probably gonna be Game of the Year candidate, but it didn't
Monster
really
Hunter Wild?
fully live up to the hype. That is, of course, Monster Hunter Wilds.
I mean, I played it all the way up until like the end game of when it first released, and it was fun. Like when that glitch with getting all those gems were there, and I never touched the glitch, so I never really farmed anything. But I felt like there wasn't much of a good. I mean, I do know a story, like kind of like roughly about like how the main monster guy was like killing everything around, but he was actually just like cloned or some shit like that. I don't remember it specifically, but I did play it. I thought the story was kind of meh.
We can all have our different opinions on Monster Hunter Wilds. I actually think it's a logical step. It's quite a good game. It was pretty good. What I want. A lot of people thought it's not as good as Monster Hunter World, but there's reasons why a more streamlined experience
but I never played
works better for certain people. And
I kind of wasted money on it.
It doesn't. And no judgment, whichever side of the line you are on that. I think we all know it's not really in the running now. There's also some pretty bad performance issues with it that
really bad performance
I'm just
issues
gonna say are a serious mark against that game. But one of the prevailing conversations this year has been difficulty. Like the majority of the biggest, most talked about games this year are uniquely demanding challenges. Kingdom Come goes a more simulation route with its difficulty, puts a lot of pressure on new players in a way a lot of open world RPGs like that don't. As the player gains skills and learns how the game works, it becomes less difficult.
What I saw of this game,
though. It takes perseverance to get to that point. On the flip side, a lot of the complaints about Monster Hunter Wilds is that they made it too easy. People say it removed a lot of the challenge that makes those games so interesting, and that left people disappointed. I'm not sure that's really what it is, but I get why people are saying
that. There is that was easy, but I think also one of the bigger problem is that the performance was terrible. Like I have a pretty good PC, I say. I think the only thing that's really gating me is my graphics card, but other than that, like I had to use the AI generated frames for it. Like I didn't really enjoy that part of it. And like I was still kind of laggy with it. I don't know, low settings with AI generated game frames, and it was still barely playable. And that's what made it not enjoyable for me.
Saying that too, but Split Fiction, that's a game that doesn't really fit the difficulty discussion. Came out March 6th. It's one of those games we all expected.
It's a semi-multiplayer.
As a follow-up to It Takes Two, it's an absolute triumph of co-op game design. It's creative. It's
they know what they're doing in the studio.
While being mechanically a little more complex. Sure, the story is fluff, but It Takes
the story
story is odd to say the least at sometimes. And I'm just gonna say this one has a more entertaining story.
Well, what I like about these kind of games, like the Split Fiction, like these Take-Two games, is that they aren't taking themselves like too seriously. They're trying to tell a story. They're trying to make it fun and adventurous. I don't know. I feel like a lot of games, they don't have that adventurous side to it. And I definitely get that adventurous side when I watch gameplay. Like I watch some people play this game on YouTube and stuff, and I have fun watching it.
It seems like almost a prerequisite nomination. I feel like it would basically any other year. And at least early on, I think we all assumed 2025 wasn't going to be as stacked as it is. So maybe at the time, it seemed like an easy lock for those 5 slots. But now in September, it's not an easy pick.
Look at that, man. That was
still a great co-op game, and some of those early safety votes are, I mean, they make sense. I think Split Fiction's probably in the running. Well, there's a lot of
I can agree with that.
So I'm going to say I don't know that this is a guaranteed inclusion. I think it's fairly safe.
Look at that, man. Look at the graphics. Look at the world.
Shadows came out March 20th, and
no.
it was generally considered a step up for the series. I don't think these win Game of the Year anymore.
This is not going to anywhere
They're going to have to
close.
completely reboot the whole thing or make a new one from the ground up, and I don't think they're going to do that.
What I think they need to do with this game is have a main story. What made the old original 3, 4, 5 games, whatever, was that Desmond was the center point of the story, and the world, why everything was happening made sense. Why he was going to Altair, why he was going to Ezio, why are you playing as these two characters? I felt like it followed, it set up a pathway. They're trying to find these items. I don't know. It just all worked. Once it started disappearing, you hit Black Flag, and then you're just all of a sudden a game director or whatever, or a gameplay, you're a tester or something. I don't know, some weird shit. And then it just felt like the story had no oomph to it. It had no progress. It just said you're doing this it's just a game that you're just gonna play. That's it.
On track, I think the next major pick for many, especially at time of release, was Blueprints, which came out April 10th.
I've seen this one. A lot of my friends play this.
Difficult to define, hard to pin down. I do think what drove so much of its appeal, especially early on, though, is just that. It's weird, and it's a brutally challenging puzzle game.
It's a roguelike puzzle game. I want to play this.
There's genuinely mind-blowing stuff in this game, but it's all wrapped up in a semi-random roguelike structure. At first, it feels like the randomness is bullshit, and then you get far enough in, you start understanding that you can control the randomness, and it's satisfying as hell.
Ooh,
and then you get further in, and the randomness starts to feel like bullshit again. It impresses.
It feels like bullshit again. Don't kill me.
It's extremely difficult to solve on your own, but in this case, the difficulty of the game is a double-edged sword. Some people love it, some don't. I think opinions are a little more divisive now than back when it immediately came out, but ultimately, I think it's another major contender for game.
Interesting. Roguelike puzzle.
More popular games overshadowing it, like Clair Obscure.
Yeah, there it is.
A game that absolutely dominated the discussion and is in many ways still one of the front runners for Game of the Year 2025.
Good soundtrack.
Following the game
good gameplay.
Release, they knew it was going to be something special, but for a lot of us, it really
good graphics,
blindsided us.
good story.
You see this thing without knowing much about it, you assume it's going to be maybe a flawed cult classic or a middling JRPG wannabe. Instant Classic was definitely not on my bingo card. I talked about it repeatedly before it came out in upcoming game lists, and I mean, it looked cool to me, but I wasn't expecting it to, blow my mind or anything. It did, though. Like, coming from such a small team being sold for a lower price point, the level of quality is just through the roof.
Choking.
It's an excellent RPG, a beautiful story, excellent voice acting, incredible music, and an innovative battle system that remains a nostalgic throwback. It is that.
Yeah. That's what I liked about this game. It had while it was turn-based, when they attacked you, you could interact with those attacks, kind of like to dodge or to parry, and you'd gain benefits of it. I don't know. I mean, it's probably not a new concept, but I don't think I've ever experienced it in any other game, which I thought was very dope.
At the same time, and that's what makes the game work so well. While certain games have kind of inevitably faded from memory somewhat, the game is still heavily in the conversation. It's a constant source of debate and discussion. It's got challenging gameplay, it's complex, has a somewhat divisive story, and
could agree.
relationship with the RPG genre, given it's from France and it's a Japanese RPG. One of those games is deliberately old school, but also very modern in a way that speaks to
French.
people. It wasn't until June 26th that we did get another game with the same caliber, with Death Stranding 2. Major games released between, like Doom, The Dark Ages, Mario Kart World, and the game of the year in our hearts.
Oh god,
the masterpiece that was Mind's Eye.
I'm a big Cyberpunk fan. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. Like the first person shooter, futuristic world. And when I saw the trailer for this game for the first time, I thought this might be my next Cyberpunk. And then I saw gameplay of it, and I'm like, this is not my next Cyberpunk. The world was pretty freaking dead. Oh my god.
But none of those games fit the Game of the Year mold that everybody's expecting. Death Stranding 2 does. It's a massive game with tons of story, Hollywood celebrities, and cutting-edge technology made by Jeff Keighley's best friend Hideo Kojima. There's a doll
one celebrity?
that's a man, and his name is Dollman. It's the type of thing that the Game Awards was made for. It's got everything an award show would want, and while it's in many ways a highlight reel of Kojima's career, it's still a fantastic game that irons out some of the flaws of the original.
Kojima's just the GOAT.
Maybe for some people makes it less of a unique experience compared to the first.
I mean, it does look crazy.
It's so much fun. It's weird and dark and goofy and slow and meditative sometimes, and a full-on action-packed thrill ride others. It's got everything. If you're on,
but then also at the same time, looks
weirdness,
like there's nothing.
Which he leans into this time around, both in seriously dark content and fourth wall-breaking absurdity. I mean, it might be the best all-around game from Kojima, not necessarily the best of his games, but the best all-around of his games. But a game I think
that's pretty interesting.
I don't think a lot of people were expecting us to talk about was Donkey Kong Bonanza, which came out in mid-July. Looked too many.
Oh my god, hold on.
Pre-release. Nothing.
That's crazy.
Because I want to say
it was on the Switch 2, and I didn't buy the Switch 2. I'm not going to buy the Switch 2. I'm probably never going to play this game, to be honest.
Look back at me talking about it. I was like, this is going to be good. This is going to be good shit. And it was.
Like a good game.
Nintendo was really cooking with Mario Odyssey and Red Faction Gorilla as the ingredients. Was the
I played a little bit of Odyssey. I never finished it, to be honest. I didn't find it enjoyable.
Crossover nobody knew they wanted. It's one of the weirdest, most ambitious Nintendo games yet, and it's an absolutely just a delight from top to bottom. Is it a gem? It's a game that's so unusual that it's actually a little off-putting at first. Like, what the hell is this? What am I playing? The more you play it, though, the more it makes sense, and it's hard to believe they were able to make a platform where you can basically destroy everything.
Okay, on this little Switch, too.
The ambition is off the charts, and it works. Like, it is a fun ride from start to finish, and that entire ending sequence is completely insane. In a year full of some amazingly hype
Interesting.
Bonanza might have the hypest. But jumping ahead to September 4th, that's the megaton bomb. It is known as Hollow Knight Silksong. It was a meme because it took so long to come out. Most wish-listed game on Steam for many years. It was inevitable that this thing was at least going to be in Game of the Year discussion for whatever year it actually came out on, as long as it, was good. And while Monster Hunter Wilds got decried for being too easy, Silksong was actually had some controversy for being too hard.
Graphics.
I think
hard
the
to
difficulty
run.
of this one
Not bad graphics. Good graphics, but hard
when
to
it
run.
comes to difficult games, you never really know where the pendulum's going to swing in terms of overall opinion. But yeah, some extremely challenging games got universal praise like Elden Ring. And sometimes difficulty generates a lot of criticism, like Shadow of the Erd Tree. Opinions about Silksong are pretty hot right now. There's a lot of back and forth in regards to difficulty, at least within its fan community. I think the gaming press opinions are a lot more generally positive. Back when we gave our first impressions, we weren't completely sure which way to lean on it, but having been able to fully finish it, I was crazy positive about the game, even though I was
Wait, did he just say he was not able to beat the game? Like it was because it was too hard?
kind of not sure whether to say it was what it needed to be or not. It's such an excellently designed game, so dense and satisfying. There's so many little details and secrets and surprises. It's a game that's it's so much fun to explore. And there's sometimes it makes you want to pull your hair out, yes, but it ultimately
that's just the type of game it is.
It's very challenging, but I never feel like the game made me die. I feel like I died playing the game not good enough. The challenge is crazy, but it is super satisfying to finally finish off some boss you were initially struggling with. Like,
is this a 2D Elden Ring?
Is nuts. For just $20, you get 50 hours of content, and that's
good. That's good ROI.
I mean, it's not accessible in the way that the original Hollow Knight is, but man, does it deserve a spot among the Game of the Year contenders. Another game,
Indiana Jones,
is actually last year's Indiana Jones: The Great Circle. It wasn't eligible last year because it was released in December. I don't think it's going to get the attention it deserves because it came out last year and people aren't going to be thinking about it. Man, is it
gotta rotate it, dude.
Game.
Come on,
it's
looks like
probably Machine Game's best. It's the best Indiana Jones adventure since The Last Crusade.
Why is it every time he punches, it looks like there's like he's breaking a sound barrier or something?
A freaking Country Mile. And the gameplay is like closer to Dishonored than an Uncharted game. It's a super satisfying blockbuster of a game that I just wanted to give a shout out here because I don't think it's going to get the attention that it deserves.
Won't.
Other than that, what's left? And there's a few upcoming games of potential. Like Hades 2 is releasing out of early access September 25th.
Never played it.
Ghost of Yotei
it's like expensive right now. I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale.
It's been a while.
I haven't even played the first Ghost.
PlayStation game of the year. The first Ghost, Ghost of Tsushima, still holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts. Right now, it's kind of hard to say how much attention the follow-up is going to get because I
don't know. I heard a lot of people talking that mad-ish about this game, but I don't know.
Is it going to bring to the table that the original didn't? We'll see. Is it more of the game? Is that what people want? Is that enough? These are all questions we won't be able to answer until we've actually played the game. There's more big games coming out with a few. I mean, Silent Hill F is going to be a bit more.
That's another $90
6,
game.
Black Ops 7, Ninja Gaiden 4, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
That one was really bad. I didn't play it, but I saw some gameplay.
Prime 4. But there's going to be a few of these that aren't even eligible. Call of Duty games also just don't win Game of the Year. Battlefield games.
Yeah, makes sense.
Foolhardy to expect that as well. Not an indictment of their quality. It's just they don't generate the kind of buzz with the voting audience.
I mean, they're not that crazy of games. They're just, multiplayer games. I feel like they don't hit the same. I don't know. They don't give you that same excitement. The story, but the story could be like, unless they had a good story part. I don't know. Like I think it was Modern Warfare, not remake, like the whatever it is, like 2019. That one had a crazy story scene. Like a crazy scene in the story, and the story wasn't actually terrible. But obviously, people just know it for the multiplayer. Not a lot of people play Call of Duty's story modes.
F, if done right, could kind of a wild card, could go either way. We've been surprised so many times this year. So
I never played.
So here,
any Silent Hill,
games that I think are likely to be in the running for Game of the Year 2025. Claire Obscura Expedition 33.
Expedition 33. I think it's gonna win.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hollow Knight, Silksong,
Hollow Knight, I can agree.
2, Split Fiction, Blueprints, and maybe based on what happens when it comes out, what the game is when it comes out, reputation certainly precedes it, but it could be, out of the running based on just being an uninspired follow-up. Ghost of Yotei. Hades 2 is a really good game.
Hades 2, the first one was really good.
But this is not getting the attention the first one did. Might be wrong. Could sweep the awards like the first game did. But at least right now, I just not.
But my one that I need up there is Mega Bonk. Can we get a freaking Mega Bonk Game of the Year edition? Come on, Mega Bonk, Mega Bonk.
Not seeing the hype. That's 7 pretty legitimate contenders for the big award. Even though we're leaving
maybe
out
Indie
some
Game of the Year,
popular
Mega
and
Bonk?
well-regarded games. I mean, Mario Kart World is
trash.
very high rated, and Elden Ring came out this year.
This is good,
though,
but
and it's not even in the conversation.
It's not gonna be there.
It's been a packed year without question, and that's not even counting some of the big
I don't know about
possible
Doom.
dark horse candidates.
I mean, that looks
that
good.
Sweep in out of nowhere. Now, to be clear, the games I'm going to call dark horses,
Oh,
I don't expect any of them to be in the running. Maybe they should be in the running, but I don't expect.
I don't know why
it. Like
GTA 5's
Schedule
there.
1, it's a standout indie game, but it's just a little too early.
But you got Mega
access.
Bonk.
Deltarune
Mega
Chapter
Bonk.
3 and 4 could get some attention.
Ooh, what's
and then
this?
there's the darkest of dark horses, a little indie game called Look Outside that has
Ooh.
burrowed into my brain. It just won't
Wait,
go
I think
away.
I just found
It's a
some-
relatively
what could be a
crude
banger?
RPG maker game that somehow manages to be one of the most haunting, legitimately scary, yet also hilarious games I've ever played. There's nothing out
I
there
think we just
quite
found some
like
bangers.
Look Outside. And the more I think about it, the more I do feel it deserves a serious consideration, at least for nomination in the Game of the Year. It's pretty far from typical Game of the Year material, but look at the list. It's eclectic as hell. The gamut
Yeah,
runs
there's a lot
from
of
most
games came out.
star-studded
Like Metal
AAA
Gear.
to some pretty small indies. Blueprints was made by one guy, a solo developer. Silksong
Wow,
was made by
really?
3 guys. I mean, there's triple the amount of guys, but
That's
very
triple
few
the amount of guys.
guys.
That's not a lot.
These kinds of indie games, they would have no chance in hell a few years ago. But like War, things have changed.
I'm not gonna
Indies
lie,
are-
that
I mean,
game gives me the vibe of what was it called? Pirate Software game. That really trash looking indie game.
The idea of an indie game is
Not trash
becoming
looking, but
mainstream.
trash playing,
Just-
sorry.
You don't release a game
Really
independently
terrible
and
story.
just expect it to be mainstream, but it's possible now. Probably the most talked
Mega
about and
Bonk.
highly anticipated game of the year is Silksong.
What
So
about Mega
who's
Bonk?
gonna win though? Now that I have no idea. Last year the winner was Astrobot, and that
That
took
one,
some
I was
people
not
by
surprised.
surprise.
I was really surprised about that
2024
one.
was kind of in a similar place where there was no clear winner, but I don't think the quality of the competition was quite the same. Everything's like really good this year. Like there's definitely some
Yeah.
of the games we've mentioned today that are going to be considered all-time greats. We will remember at least some of
He
these
keeps showing
games
this one game. That's so
decades
funny.
from now. As good as this year's roster is, I kind of think Clear Obscure might be the front runner. It's kind of
think
just
it is.
catnip
I think it
for the
is.
type of person that votes in these things. It's got the attention, it's got the hype. It's also an out of nowhere small developer doing something crazy that's considered big.
Passion,
But that doesn't
passion.
mean the outcome's certain. Sometimes the safest pick is the most controversial pick. I suspect that played a bit of a part in why Astrobot won.
Really?
Not to knock that game, but some people were kind of mad because
I
it
never
was
played
just
it.
a safe choice. It's a great game though. If 2025
Maybe we gotta
has
check it
an
out.
equivalent, it's maybe Death Stranding 2 or Split Fiction. Possibly, again, depending on how it is when it comes out, Ghost of Yotei. The big breakaway here is that if you're into a wide variety of games, this has been a really good year with a lot of interesting stuff to play. And even if you're only interested in the absolute best of the best that gets awards attention, there's still a lot to be happy about. Of course, not every single
Yeah, I
game
can agree with
on
that.
here is
There's a
going
lot
to
of
be
good games.
everyone's cup of tea. And sure, the Game Awards is literally just a popularity contest for industry folks. It's ultimately, what we're talking about here, because there's plenty of great games, and I'm not going to knock a great game. A lot of these games are somebody's favorite game. These kinds of awards favor a certain kind of game, though. Usually single player, generally story driven, often mechanically
Stellar
demanding
Blade.
or innovative, while still maintaining a level of traditional standards of quality. So the truth is that whatever wins or loses, it doesn't really matter.
If it mattered,
What really
yeah.
matters
But I think
is your own
I wanna see
personal
some good
game of
games
the year,
win.
your own favorites, your own not
Mega
so
Bonk.
favorites.
Mega
Though
Bonk.
it is nice to see something
I'm gonna keep
get
saying it, Mega
recognized
Bonk.
on a wider stage. I mean, we have to also acknowledge that Game of the Year sometimes feels a little bit meaningless. I mean, every video game under the sun gets a Game of the Year edition, no matter how good or bad it actually is. Everybody knows
I
that
like how that page only showed PlayStation options. Like PlayStation always has Game of Year
stuff
edition.
doesn't matter, but we can't help but obsess about it either way. For this reason, it's fun to talk about, right? I think so. And
I think it's
on
fun to talk
that
about.
Note, we have a comment section that you're more than welcome to talk about it with us and with others. So leave us a comment, let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them
Oh,
first is, of
wow.
course, a subscription. So click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter, Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here
Damn.
on Game Ranks.
Yeah, no, this video was really good. Honestly, it gave us like a lot of input on what potential nominees are going to be. I'm really hoping Mega Bonk's on there personally. I do enjoy that game, and it's like it is. Honestly, I really want indie games to win Game of the Year. I think indie games are where it's at. Because like one, they're cheaper, they can be more fun, and I feel like they're more a passion project than just trying to throw out a game like I don't know, Assassin's Creed Shadows, just, you know, just a AAA game. They're just trying to make their money. They don't really care. But yeah, that's just the vibe I get. So I do hope you did enjoy this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you'd like me to react to next. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.